Welcome to the Rusted Garden, and today is the last series, I think it was of 9, for growing tomatoes and peppers from start to finish. I just wanted to show you the harvest. These are all hot peppers right over here that I've been taking out of the garden. Jalapeno, red cherries, Hungarian wax, a couple different tomatoes there, coyote, the small yellow ones, Paul Roberson, Indigo Apple. I got more tomatoes down here. I'm going to actually show you how to seed save these. These are Siberian tomatoes. And then I have my sweet peppers, different bells, bananas, different varieties, and a bunch of other stuff that I took out of my garden. But today I'm just going to give you a tour of the peppers, what they look like, the tomatoes. Things are growing really nicely, and I want to show you how to seed save your tomatoes too. Let me get to that. Now that you've been growing your tomatoes and peppers for almost an entire season, they should be ripening, and you can actually save the seeds and save yourself some money. I'm going to show you how to do tomatoes and peppers too, actually. These are my Siberian tomatoes, washed, cleaned, ready to go. What you want to do is cut the tomatoes open, and when you cut them open, you're going to see the seeds, of course, and around them is sort of a gel sac. That gel sac has to be removed. It has to ferment away. And what you do is you ferment the tomato seeds in jars for anywhere from 5 to 10 days. It looks just like this. I'll show you the process real quickly. And then once they ferment, you're going to take them out, you're going to dry them. I'm going to show you how to do that. So here are some seeds right in here that I've been saving. Keep the skins. These are all going to be turned into a sauce. But the Siberians have a lot of seeds in them. Just push out the seeds, the liquid, and clean out the tomato. And this is all you really have to do to save seeds. You'll find you'll get hundreds of them, if not thousands of them, but you don't need that many. Oh, you just saw the juice squirt. Be careful that you don't make a mess. If something's not cut, rather than pushing your thumb, cut it with a knife, because when you press into it, it's going to put pressure and the liquid's going to come squirting out all over your kitchen and on you. Here's a couple more. If you cut them into quarters, sometimes it's easier. And you're just removing sort of all the seeds and their gel sacs so that they can ferment and just rot away. Now the process is clean right now, but when they're sitting in these jars for 5, 7 days, 10 days, don't let them go past 10 days fermenting. They really start to smell. So you would take your Siberian seeds, I use mason jars, make sure you label it, the date, and then again within 5 to 10 days you want to take them out of here. Fill up the jar. You have your seeds in there ready for fermentation. Put the lid on it and make sure you label them. You will forget what they are. I actually put tape behind it and then I put a rubber band on there. And then you just seal them up. You know, wait about a week. Once a week goes by, they're going to naturally ferment. Everything around the seeds going to rot, and you're going to be ready to save them. And when I open this up, you can see the pressure on here. Listen. That's from the fermentation. So now these do smell sour. You take them from this jar, get a sieve just like this, pour it into here, run cold water over this, and just gently move them around until all the tomato casing, the gel sac, everything is gone. And then what you do with the sieve, let me just get these off my fingers, is start tapping it. And when you tap it, they all clump together. Now these need to dry for about another week, another 5 to 7 days. And the way that I do that is I use coffee filters. Don't use napkins or paper towels. The seeds will actually stick to the paper towels and napkins, and it's a really painful process to peel them off. You don't want to have to do that extra work. Use the coffee filters. So I take a plate, put some napkins underneath to catch the water, drop the tomato seeds on there, move them around, label it so you know what you have. Let these dry again for about a week, and then you will have seeds for next year. It's a pretty easy process. It works just about every time if you just kind of follow those guidelines. Now pepper seeds are a little bit different, because you don't need to ferment them. These are red peppers, and you're just letting the peppers get to a mature size. That's Hungarian wax, and these are jalapenos. And all you would really do is, again, get your coffee filter, take your pepper seeds, and break them right onto here. And you can see that. Let them dry for about a week, and then you'll have pepper seeds that are ready to be used the following year. And again, make sure you mark on here that these are jalapenos. Alright, let me get to the tour. So here are the sweet peppers that you saw in the harvest video. All kinds of different bells, reds, bananas. Everything is doing really, really well. So for the next month through August, I'll be getting tons of sweet peppers out of the garden. I just wanted to show you everything that's growing in there. I've been keeping up on the spraying, doing a pretty good job with the weeding, and most importantly, these were all chewed down by snails and slugs, so I'm going to get more of the iron phosphate down, and these plants should do really well for the rest of the season. One thing right in there, on top of that pepper, you see that it's getting kind of light, white and yellow. That's from sunburn. So sometimes your peppers might get a blemish like that, and that's just from the direct sun beating down on them. Let me go show you the tomatoes. Here's one section of my tomato garden. Everything is doing pretty well. I've been actually keeping up on the spraying, on the feedings, but I actually have squirrels coming in that are eating the nearly ripe fruit. So I've been dealing with that. But all this yellowing, I did a video on what heat damage can look like on your plant. A lot of this is from the heat. These are just some varieties of tomatoes that don't do well in the heat, and I'm talking 95 plus degrees, you know, for 7-10 days, and that's what we've been getting. For instance, this is a Paul Roberson that just isn't taking the heat, and somebody actually just left me a comment that this is a Russian variety that likes cool weather. But all these spots, these yellowing, these brownings, this is not from any crazy disease or anything that you have to go and worry about. It's just unfortunately the heat. And for instance, this variety just won't go in my garden this year or next year because it just can't take the late heat. Other tomatoes are doing really well. This is a Coyote, and these are some of the most deliciously sweet yellow tomatoes that I found, and this is definitely a keeper. And you can see just all the yellow tomatoes around, all the green tomatoes coming. It's doing really, really well. Another tomato. I got to pull that before the squirrels come and get it. Let me just go through here and show you the hot peppers. The hot peppers are in here. They're going to get harvested. Actually, you will see them in the beginning of this video. You'll see the harvested hot peppers. Kept them separate this year. And again, if you plant a hot pepper next to a sweet pepper for the current growing year, you're not going to heat up the sweet peppers. But if the seeds do cross next year, you might get a surprise. The cherry reds are doing well. Hungarian wax are turning orange. Poblanos look good. I harvested some jalapenos out of there. Everything is doing really, really well. Here's some more of the tomatoes. Massive size Brandywine yellows. German Johnson. Back there, Cherokee purple. There were 2 purple tomatoes on there, but the squirrels ate them, unfortunately. This is my Bradley. Doing nicely. And as of July 15th, July 30th, this is a time where you can give them a nice feeding of magnesium sulfate, Epsom salt, 1 tablespoon per gallon. Just give them a dosing in the root system. And look how big those are. Here's my hand to give you a size reference. Doing well. And one tomato down in here that I really like the color, it's the Indigo Apple. And it's just a beautiful looking tomato. But as of July 31st, the tomatoes are doing really, really well. Hope you enjoyed this series on growing peppers and tomatoes. I'm just going to take care of these for the rest of the month. Hopefully get these all to maturity, and the squirrels leave them alone. Please check out my blog at www.therustedgarden.blogspot.com, and also check out my YouTube videos.